people, or we market very, very expensively, and people come and shop the shelves. You can come around here and back. Lots of toys come through. Lots of clothes come through. Furniture. We have all kinds of stuff. We need luggage, they'll clean this up. We have an industrial washer dryer that all the clothing reports put out on the shelves is thoroughly clean. The children's toys is, they're soaked in Lysol and bleach and things like that. Lots of baby items come through. We do have arrangements with Conway Cradle Care and other organizations, Bethlehem House. We give items to them quite often. And, for instance, when the tornado came through Bologna several months ago, people lost everything. We have a lot of people with clothing, just different households. Okay, y'all have any questions? We can go ahead and you can just stay in here since it's a little bit less noisy with all the equipment. Does that work?
I can record you while you're doing it.
Okay. I actually got a bunch of questions.
Hey.
What is your title and background of education?
Okay. I'm actually the recycling coordinator for the City of Conway and also for the Faulkner County Solid Waste Management District. Basically, I do public relations and grant writing is a big part of what I do. And I also write for some magazines and do environmental articles. I'm a UCA graduate. My degree is in mass communications and information systems. So I was working at a bank, and the chamber here in town knew of this job opening and contacted someone who was here that contacted me and interviewed.
Okay. How many years has recycling gone on in Conway? Since '94?
Yeah, they actually, in the early 90s, there was a thing called the Recycling Task Force that was formed. I think it was back in 1991. And what it was, before we had a municipal operation, it was just a volunteer organization that started having drives on Saturdays in the Bank of America parking lot or in church parking lots. And there was just a demand that grew from that, and that's when they decided to form the task force that looked into having the bond issued to build the facility.
Okay. Mine's on glass. Most of my questions are going to be about the glass part of it.
Okay.
Before the current way of crushing it, what did Conway do with the glass? Did they send it, or did they even recycle?
We did. We when I first started here, which would have been almost 10 years ago, we took it then and we did ship it off, and we only took clear and amber. And what happened to us, glass of course is made from sand, which is like the cheapest and most abundant raw material that is out there. So glass companies could make a virgin product cheaper than they could take a recycled product and then make new glass from it. So we were having a terrible time to find anyone to take our glass when we did ship it, and when we did, the transportation cost was so expensive because it's so heavy. And what we ran into a few times, they were very, very picky. Like if one green bottle was put in the entire huge truckload of clear and amber glass, they would reject the load.
Oh wow! And you have to bring it all
We would
back.
have to pay shipping costs that we ate there and back, and then have a whole bunch of glass that we didn't know what to do with. So that's when we started using our glass crusher.
What is the daily recycling movement per ton? Not only in glass, but
I don't know daily what we do. I do have, and I'll be glad to email it to you, I have a PowerPoint that breaks it down by quarter.
okay.
And it breaks it down by the material.
Okay.
So it would probably be real helpful for
That
you.
would be real helpful.
Yeah, if you'll just shoot me an email or remind me, I can do that. And it's got some other background information that will probably answer a lot of your questions anyway.
Okay. Is there a reason for glass there's not offered curbside pickup where you just put it in there?
Yes. We've looked at doing, number one, we use automated trucks. So when the one-arm truck dumps your bin, it shatters. Yeah, absolutely. And we can't get it out of the truck. And then it poses a safety hazard to our employees that have a bunch of jagged, raw-edged glass in the bottom of the trucks. We have looked, and I have actually looked here in the last few months at getting hoppers, they call them, to retrofit onto your current recycling bin. And that way we would have a route set up to come along before the bins were empty to dump the hopper. But right now the city has no money, so we would have to spend the cost of setting up another route for just glass, and then we would have to purchase hoppers for everybody. So it's just funny, and there's no return on the glass as far as what you would make shipping it out. And we always don't look at that so much as we look at space we save in our landfill. But since we have some sort of a glass option right now for people, it's just not the highest on the priority list.
Okay. Due to the average price of gasoline or diesel in y'all's case going up, does the recycling center and waste management themselves plan on making it where it's not free for recycling?
No, I would not look for us to ever charge for recycling. I really wouldn't. Where we justify our cost and where it more than pays for the program to run every year is by the space we save in the landfill. Landfills are extremely costly to construct, to manage, like I mentioned in there, after this is closed, for 30 years we still have to maintain a closure, post-closure, testing and keeping up with everything, plus building a new one. So it costs us less money to lose a little bit on what we don't make from the sale of the materials, justified by the space we set in the landfill. Because all of this stuff would go somewhere. If it didn't get recycled, it would go in that landfill, and then our landfill would close years earlier.
Okay. There are a lot of businesses in Conway that serve liquor, which all that comes in glass.
Sure.
I mean, some of it comes in aluminum. Has Conway Waste Management thought about doing a private business dump bin for most of the businesses that are in the center of town that serve liquor?
Well, we would have to have an option other than crushing it ourselves right now, because one of the two requirements for bringing your glass to us is it has to have no label and it has to have no lid. And if you've ever tried to scrape a label off of a beer bottle or a baby food jar or whatever, you're not going to have businesses that are going to be able to do that for us. So if we were to do that, which is a great idea, and like you said, more and more liquor licenses, you have more and more bottles that come through. But we would have to be able to ship that. We couldn't use it in our own facility.
On average, how much material do you get in as glass brought in weekly?
I don't know about glass. I'm trying to think if it's on the slide that I have, and I don't know because it seems like the slide was from 2010. If glass is on there or not, it's very nominal. We do not get much glass.
Okay. I do know that it's being crushed for road base. Is that being used in the state, or is it being shipped and then being brought back?
It's used on our facility. We don't send it anywhere. We use it here. We
Okay.
use it to get our garbage trucks onto the working face of the landfill.
That way you don't have to build road.
Right.
It's efficiency for you
It
guys.
is. Yeah, and we don't have the shipping cost either.
How much did the crusher cost?
I don't even know. That's a good question. I don't know. I know we had one years ago, and it was breaking down all the time, so I don't know if they got a new one or if they just crush by hand or if I don't know. I'm not sure.
And then we already discussed one. Where do you see the recycling program in the next 10 years?
Oh, wow. I see us having a better option for glass. I see us doing tires ourselves. We send our tires now to Davis Rubber in Little Rock. And we looked into getting a tire shredder. So in 10 years, I imagine we'll be doing that on our own. We're also looking into asphalt shingle recycling to use as a road material. So I would think in 10 years we would have some sort of an option there. I see it expanding. I mean, I really do. Conway is very receptive, and it's something that residents demand, and we've incorporated our county now, not just Conway residents, so I think it's just going to keep growing.
Okay. I know y'all look at other places within the state at least. Do y'all look into like cities such as Dallas and how big they are to get ideas?
We have to, because, and we actually have, we've had people from Oklahoma and different states come to our facility. The closest thing to what we have is in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
And that's what we patterned ours after. And we actually went more